majoring in accounting.
South Korea. My
studies, I don't know.
지난 시간에 이어 미국 펜실베니아 주립대학의 샘 리처드 교수의 강의를 전해드리겠습니다. 한국의 유별난 교육열이 어디에서 기인한 건지, 요즘 젊은 세대들이 얼마나 치열한 상황에서 경쟁하고 있는지 다룬 내용이었는데요. 영상으로 확인해 보시죠.
Term here, Joseon. Hell Joseon. Can you guys talk about this a little? Talk about this?
I mean, it's like a term because like you've all seen it, like how expensive it is to afford an apartment in Seoul, the capital. And it's really like, it's where most people would want to live in, have a job, have their housing. But because it's so competitive to get a job or even like a good life there, we kind of call it hell Joseon.
Hey, how do you say hey?
It's like hell Joseon.
Joseon.
Yeah.
Hey, should we say what Joseon is?
So like Korea basically like started from Joseon Dynasty, and like during the period like South like Korea was definitely harsh, and like these days since it is like still very competitive to live there, we have like compound words which is like combination of hell plus Joseon Dynasty, just as back then.
The Joseon Dynasty was about 500 years.
Yeah.
And everything what we know about Korea today largely came together in the Joseon Dynasty.
Yeah.
Including the characters, right? The alphabet,
Right.
and so on. So say more about Hell Joseon. Say Hil.
So,
What else would the rest of you add to this?
like as long as I remember, like as a student when I was back in Korea, I was a high school student there, and I was actually preparing for like many exams there, and like 90%, like just most of the students, they studied more than like 10 or 12 hours a day. So like even I studied as much as I could, it was just the average. So I remember it was very competitive.
And so the idea is that no matter what you do, you're like spinning your wheels to try to keep up with everybody else.
Right.
And you never know if you can, because are you ever gonna it doesn't matter how much you study, you can always study more, and there's always someone else studying more. And then when you finally get a job, maybe you get a job, or you're graduating, now you're competing with all these other people, and you're back on the hamster wheel. And then once you get a job, maybe you're not making enough money, and you're working and working and working, and no matter what, it's like hell. It's like Squid Game, in a way, right?
So like once before, like back in high school, I had a like talk with the academic counselor back in high school, and then she said like even if you like study really hard during the vacation, like that will just leave you as like just the average, because everyone's gonna like study hard during the period.
So that would sound like hell to most of you all, I would assume, right? Do you guys want to add anything to this idea?
Okay, so basically it means like it's more harder for our generation to proceed compared to our parents' generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like it was okay to succeed like for our parents' generation, like when they had to get a loan and they were able to buy like apartments, but today it's really complicated and there's a lot of restrictions and it's more competitive. So yeah, literally it means it's hell for our generations compared to our parents' generations.
Talk about these. Like, tell people what these hagwons are. Like, what is this?
Okay, so hagwon is like academic lessons that students take after school. It may be just tutor or just normal lessons from another professionals. So, like Koreans are like, they're really into education. So going to more than 3 hagwons per day or like maybe 5, it's really normal for Koreans.
To add on, there are like districts of hagwons. So there are different districts within Seoul. Some of them there are hagwons populated within the district, so the street would be full of buildings, and within the building there would be full of hagwons, like for math, science, English, foreign languages. There will be hagwon for literally anything, any subject you can think of.
Okay, so hang on. So let's be clear here. You go to school, then you have lunch, and you go to afternoon school. Yeah? That's your regular school, which is already longer than in most places in the U.S., right? Like, what's the average school day?
So normally it starts at 8, I think, and then ends at 3 afternoon. So that's only school. And
Okay,
then,
so right, so everyone goes to school, right? Okay, so all right, go ahead.
And then after school, when I was in middle school, I went to like 2 or 3 hagwons. It's basically line tutoring, at line tutors. But in some tutoring, if you get, they test you. And then if you don't get like high scores, they don't send you home. So
Wait, so you get like locked into a hagwon?
So like basically a few days I couldn't go to home, like in the 3 or 4 in the morning.
Wait, so you're paying, your parents are paying for this, right? Your parents pay for this. The hagwons you pay for.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
okay.
$300, $400 a month.
Okay. And it could be a lot more. If you have a lot of money,
Yeah.
obviously you're going to pay a lot of money. Okay, wait. And so then how long might you stay at a hagwon? So after school, like it's 3 o'clock, you would go directly to the tutoring? Or would you go home first? Or like, well, how do you do what?
Yeah.
And then you go.
Yeah.
What's the latest people stay at hagwon? Like what then until when?
Like, so basically 2 or 3 in the morning maybe, but during my middle school year, the law got changed. Hagwon cannot, hold students until like 10 o'clock. So basically, every hagwon should end at 10 o'clock. But, there's the other way. They get apartments in the private, and then they collect students. And then they hold students until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So basically, law doesn't mean anything.
Wait, hang on. Can someone, Leah, Junho, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so there was a restriction from the government not to like block students until 10 p.m. So hagwons, they started to gather people at real like private places like Do-hyung mentioned, or some hagwons, they opened at 4 a.m. So like students would wake up at 3 a.m. and start their hagwon at 4 a.m.
Before they go to school.
Yeah, before they go to school, because the
83% of Korean 5-year-olds go to hagwons. And about 36% of Korean 2-year-olds go to hagwons. Dude, so we're not talking 2-year-olds aren't going 5 days a week till 2 in the morning. I mean, on the average, this was one particular study, the average is like, like 2 sessions a week. And for 5-year-olds, it's like 50-minute sessions 5 days a week. But the point is, you're doing tutoring. Everyone, 83%. Dude, y'all, something. If 70% of American 25 to 34-year-olds had college degrees, trust me, you all would be going to hagwons also, because you'd be competing. As it is, when you graduate from Penn State, you have the idea, okay, you're going to find a job. But if you were competing with twice as many people with college degrees here or back home, wherever you're from, if you're not from the United States, you'd